Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Cordless Carpenter, where yes, we're going to do some cordless carpentry. But first I wanted to share with you guys a package that I received from one of my subscribers. I never expected when I started this channel, and it's really not because of the channel, I don't think, but I reached out to somebody else on YouTube for advice. For some advice on specific tooling that I knew that this person had extensive knowledge on. We'll put it that way. You'll know what I mean in a second, but I never thought that. I guess I forgot that there are people out there that are genuine, that have good hearts, and they're just straight up good dudes. So there is hope. There is hope for the world. And so I received this package actually the middle of last week, but I didn't have the time to do an unboxing, if you will, due to other things. But now it's time. I have been staring at this package for 4 or 5 days now. Every time I walk in, I want to open it, but I haven't. Been a good boy. So this package comes all the way from Ohio, and I'll let you see who sent it. All right. So Chris from Chop with Chris, he has a YouTube channel, and obviously, and I highly recommend you go see him. He does some really cool stuff on his channel that are kind of out of the ordinary. He works a lot like I do, no power tools or anything like that. And he takes it one step further. He doesn't buy his lumber, which is the step I'm trying to get to. He doesn't buy his lumber. He goes out into the forest and chops the trees down, or chops down parts of trees that are already dead in the forest. I don't know, maybe he does chop down live trees too, I don't know, but for specific projects or whatnot. But he also takes advantage of what I'm trying to do, but I'm not having any success. Take advantage of, say, the city was trying to cut down a tree on the side of the road to clear some room for a road expansion or something like that, or somebody just wanted to take a tree down in their yard. Well, he goes out and drives around like I do, and he searches for things like this, these good opportunities, and he takes advantage of them. Goes and talks to the people if he needs to, and splits it, throws it in the back of his truck or his car or whatever, and hauls it home and chops it up and makes something cool out of it. And that's kind of what I do, only I haven't taken mine to that level yet. I'm starting to. I did get some wood. I found some free maple and cedar, and I plan on making some stuff out of it. So let's get to the package. What do you think's in this, guys? So I called him, or not called him. I sent him a message on his channel, just asking for his advice, because I knew that he had experience with this specific tool you're going to see in here, and he came back with something that I wasn't expecting. I never would have expected it. But he came back and said, I got something better for you. I've got a lot of these hanging around. Why don't I just send you some? He said there's one catch though. You gotta let me do it free of charge. From one woodworker to another, kindred spirits, so to speak. He sent me a couple of items. Now I have lots of similar types of these items, but not these kind of items. But I just thought that was super cool. I've never received a package from a stranger like this that I've kind of gotten to know a little bit, but it's not that often that you come across people that are like this that want that have a generous heart like this and want to help a fellow carpenter or whatnot further his journey with woodworking. So, you know, pure style right there. I totally thought I was going to see it too, but that was good, Chris. That was good. This is like Christmas time. Somebody told me you should put up a Christmas tree and act like it's Christmas. Alright. So this I think he's doing this pure for pure entertainment right now. This is turning out to be pretty good. Chris, is there another box under there? Alright. I guarantee you one dude is laughing his ass off right now. Kind of another box, but not really. Alright. Can you see what they are? So, I asked him, I said, well look, I'm going to be, I do carpentry only with hand tools too, as well. I need some help with some broad axes. You obviously have a lot of them and have experience with them, and I have almost no experience with them. And I said, I'm going to be working with larger wood, such as he does, and I'm going to need to, everything from, I'm going to be doing a lot of timber framing, like true timber framing, meaning harvesting wood from the forest and squaring it up by hewing the logs and stuff like that, all the way up to building my own house. I do plan on building my own house in retirement where I end up somewhere in the Midwest. I don't know why they call it the Midwest. It's nowhere near the West, and it's not really even in the middle of the country. But man, I think he did this on purpose. But so he shoots me an email with with some pictures and says choose. Kind of felt like Danielson and Karate Kid a little bit. Like, really? Are you kidding me? It's not even my birthday. But I chose these two, which are probably not the two he thought I was going to choose, but he is going to let me learn my lesson if they're not the right tool for the job. Alright. Restoration part 1 done. Okay, so if you're not familiar with these, this is a small broadaxe, but they are flat on, well, let me say they come in 3 different versions, many different styles, makers, stuff like that, but they come in 3 main versions: a right hand, a left hand, and a right bevel, left bevel, and a double bevel. So a double bevel is obviously going to have a bevel on both sides of the head of the axe. And this was made in, can't really make out exactly what it is, but it was made in, looks like Boston. Maybe Boston Spa, New York. I don't know. I'll have to dig in and do some research and find out about this. But so this is the first broadaxe. He said, I said, well, I need a small one, and you know, to do smaller logs and smaller work, and I'm going to need one for large work, like standing on top of a huge log and hewing it, for maybe building a log cabin or whatnot. And so he sent me a small one and a large one. This one's going to need to be, good thing I'm learning how to blacksmith, because this is going to need a little bit of work. It's like bulging out right here. If you, yeah, you can probably pick that up on camera. It's bulging out there, and you can see when you look down it this way, it has kind of a flat, and then it kind of comes over on this side, but this side's pretty flat. And then when you look at it this way, it almost looks like a full teardrop. So I need to do some blacksmithing and maybe on the back side of this. If not, Chris, if that's the way it's supposed to be, let me know. So I got to do some research on these, but this is the first head, and that's the small guy. I can only imagine why he put tape like that on there, but maybe just to make sure that the protection stays on there. But wow. To you, Chris, I say thank you. First thing I've ever received from a subscriber. This is pretty amazing. And so I do plan on restoring these. It's not a whole lot of work that needs to be done, especially this one. This guy's sharp already. Huh. Not shaving sharp, but it will be. So, this is the second one. Look at that. This thing's massive. I really didn't think it'd be this big. You know, I've seen, it feels much larger in person than when you're watching videos and whatnot. Jesus, that thing's going to have a... I mean, the eye hole is 3 3/4 wide, or 3.5 inches wide. But wow, this is what a cool broad axe. So this also is a single bevel, and I think you can do it. Now the head is going to be smaller on one end than it is the other, and that's how you would know if it's right-handed or left-handed. And you would use this with the timber. If my arm was the timber, you would use it with the flat side towards the timber, and then you'd basically hew the log and hew it square, or at least flat on 2 or 3 sides, whatever your goal is. And yeah. But I did not have either one of these. I didn't have a small one or a big one. And, well, thanks to a fellow woodworker, an enthusiast, now I do. How awesome. Awesome. I can't wait to get to these, play with them. I'll make handles for them, and we'll use them on the channel. Awesome. Can't wait to get to them. Thanks again, Chris. That was awesome. So we'll put these over here. And the second thing I wanted to chat with about with you guys real quick is something that I thought I could get away with, and not so much. I've paid the price for not using one, and that's a moisture meter. So I got this little General. I think this one, and there's another one out there that are like the most popular ones. I just wanted something to read the moisture of wood. Now you can check wood. On there you see you can check wood with this little selector here. You can select wood or construction material. So let's turn it on. And there's 2 main types of moisture meters. You have the pin type, which mine's a pin type. And by the way, if you get one of these, make sure you tighten these pins down because they don't come tight. I had to snug them up, just like everything else you get. It's probably made in China. It doesn't say it on here, but I'm sure it is. Anyway, so it gives you on the back a little chart. It says basically what ranges for what kind of material you're using, or high, medium, or low. Yeah, that's a little better. So anyway, they have these, and they have them that are really super expensive. But I was like, you know what? I just need something to tell me the moisture. I don't need to get into all the other stuff. Just let me point and shoot. Let me stick it in some wood, and it'll tell me what my moisture is. Right? So I'm going to select wood, and I can easily just plug it. I'm going to use it in the end grain here, and I'll shove it in there as deep as I can. And this is reading right now 10.2%. Now, a lot of people don't like to use the pin style, and the other style is a pinless, just no pins, and it has a little monitor on the back, and you place it up against the wood like so, and it will read. It'll read the wood. All it's doing is telling you the resistance between these two prongs, and whether there's moisture or water present. It will vary your reading. Just like if I put my fingers between it. 23%. And you know immediately too with this little guy, whether you have wet wood, green wood, or dry wood, because it'll be real low. For the beep will be real slow for hard dry wood, and it'll go a little bit faster like this for a little bit higher moisture. And then if I stick it in something green, there you go. It like skyrockets really fast. So like when I stuck it in the wood outside, the maple that I have outside, it just shot up to 50% and never looked back. So this, I've used it around the house too, just for shits and giggles. I turn it to construction material and start sticking, I didn't jam holes and everything, but I tested a few spots that I thought might be higher moisture content or worrisome spots, if you will, and everything turned out to be perfectly normal, so that's really good. But it gives me a peace of mind now. This isn't my house, but at least it'll give me give me a piece of information to share with my landlord that there are no moisture spots that are troublesome. And let me turn it off. So pretty simple and easy to use. I recommend this guy. Hasn't let me down yet. Lets me know if my wood is moist or dry, green or dry. So that's all I needed it for. And I think this guy was about 30 bucks, 35 bucks. I can't remember off the top of my head. So the last thing that I wanted to share on this video was I drew it up a little bit, but as you can see, that's kind of how the chop is going to look. The vise, this will sit, this is going to be on the vise jaw that is up against the bench, and this right here will be like an inset where I will excavate all this out with a router, and it will sit and it will encase the rear jaw of the vise. So I took the meter out there and I was going to chop. I was literally just going to chop up some of that maple that I got, which I just got it for firewood. It was free. And I was going to chop it out of that, kind of chop with Chris style, and then I took the moisture meter out there and realized it was way too green to start. Now it's probably easier to do it that way while it's green, but green wood is easier to carve, but less stable. I would rather just use wood that I know. I can use the proper grain orientation, and it's going to be much more manageable and get me on my feet a little bit faster using the ash that I chose to do that. So I'm going to stop the video now and I'll come back once I get this going. Thanks everybody, and to friends and family, I love you. Everybody else, I'll see you soon.